You want to automate changing your Twitch category depending on your current Steam game with the help of Streamer.bot. Let me show you how. First, we need a Steam Web API key. Head over to the link in the description. It will take you to the Steam's Web API key registration page. Make sure you're logged into your Steam account as well. And give the terms of use a quick read-through. Always a good idea. The domain name field, don't worry about it. You don't need to own an actual domain. You can literally put anything here, like mystream-bot.local, for example. In my case, I'll just use my domain though. So PonyTV. Once that's done, agree to the terms, hit register, and if you're using Steam Guard Mobile Authenticator, you might need to confirm it, and then you get to the next page. So once approved, you get your Web API key directly in front of you. Go ahead and copy that, we'll need it in a second. The next thing you want to do is get the Streamer.bot Import from my site, or rather from my GitHub link below. Simply download the file itself, which has a .sb ending. Just something so you know it's a Streamer.bot related file. In Streamer.bot, click on Import and drag the .sb file that you downloaded into the import string field. You'll see two actions in the import window. Just click Import to confirm. Now look for the action called Set Steam Web API Key. Right-click on the test trigger and choose Test Trigger. Prompt will pop up and you'll paste your API key in there and hit OK. Your key is now saved in a global persisted variable, which you can see here. Next we need your Steam user ID. We can head over to the SteamIDfinder.com page, type in your profile name and look for the SteamID 64, which is a decimal number. Copy that number, then go back to Streamer.bot, edit the set argument subaction by double-clicking or right-click and edit, and in the value field you paste in your SteamID. Now it's time to test. Right-click the test trigger in the Get Current Game Steam action and select Test Trigger. Then you go to Action Queues and Action History. There you should see the Get Current Steam Game action. You can double-click on it and then inspect the arguments that were populated. Additionally, there's also some information about your profile as well. I've made it that the game name argument from Steam isn't such a long argument, so you can use Steam game name instead. Makes it a bit easier to work with. Here's basically how the action itself works. The fetch URL sub-action is basically making the call to Steam with your Web API key we previously set as a persisted global variable, which we can use in the sub-action itself with tilde surrounding it. Then we also have the Steam user ID in the URL, which we can use with %signs surrounding it, as it's a normal argument. The next sub-action is like checking whether something is being played or not. So we check the game played argument, whether it was able to pull a game from the API or not. The only downside is, for Steam to be able to provide you your game info, your status in Steam needs to be online. Being invisible will not give you any information about the game you're playing via the API. I've also added a get target info for broadcaster, so you can compare in an if-else if the Twitch category you're currently in is the same as the Steam game that you're currently playing. If it is, you can just stop the action and be done with it. If it's something different, then you can move on to the next sub-action and basically change the Twitch category to your Steam game with the Steam game name argument. Now it can sometimes happen that Twitch doesn't recognize the name properly and you do in the end have to manually change it still, but that shouldn't happen too often, to be honest. If you want this action to be checking your Steam game every minute, we can do that easily. Head to the trigger section, right click and add a core timed action and create a new timer. Give it a name like, I don't know, Steam Game Checker and set it on repeat. The seconds would be 60 in this case and hit OK. Now if you're using it with a timed action, I'd always recommend excluding the action from your action history so it's not filling that up like every minute or so. You can do that by right-clicking the action and exclude from history. And that's pretty much it. Now your Streamer.bot setup will keep an eye on your Steam game and change the category if needed. If this helped you out, drop a like, consider subscribing for more Streamer.bot tips, and yeah, see ya.